Hey class, so today I'm gonna kind of show you guys how to um, create a sheet and just some tips and tricks that you can use. Um, so this is my elevations page. Um, so I'm gonna recreate this so you guys can see how I got to this point. I know it seems like something very simple, but coming from not taking BIM 1 for a long time to going to BIM 2, this helped me a lot just to like get resituated with making sheets and different things like that. So I will go ahead and show you how to do it. So right here we have our little sheets spot under our project browser. So if you right click on sheets, you can say new sheet, and then I've created my own title block and added it into my project. So these are just my initials and title block. So in order to do this, what I did is I just copied the title block that was already existing, and I just put my own spin on some things and added in this little, I don't know if you'd call it a logo, but just something to put in place of the Revit logo that's normally there, just to kind of personalize it and make my own project. But so I'll go ahead, and so I could select this one, or I'll select this one, and then I'm going to go OK, and then it will give me this blank sheet. And then if you go down here, you have all this information that you can fill in. So I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll put my name, and then the project name. We'll just do okay. And oh, that didn't work out very well. So I'm just going to say, just for time's sake, okay. And then you can also put in the day and the author, which would just be you again, and then who's checking it by, which I normally put my teacher. And then as you can see, it already named this A8, but if you come over here, so this is the one that's darker, is the one that we're working on right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on that, and then we're going to say rename. So this pulls up, so the number, I normally do A and then whatever it is, but that's because it's an architectural sheet, an architectural drawing. And if you're doing electrical, you'd want to do E and then the number, or I guess there's like details, you could do D and then 1, or however you'd like to do it, and then we'll name it. So then we'll go ahead and name this elevations. Even though I already have my other one that I showed you existing here, I just don't really want to delete it. So I'm gonna just create another one that's very similar to that. So we'll go okay. And so as you can see, it changed the name of the sheet right here just because we changed it over here. So everything is linked up, which is something that's super nice about Revit and just BIM in general. So it's still going to be A8 and elevations. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, this was something that I was embarrassed about, but it was hard for me to remember how to even get anything inside the sheet. So what you do is you just scroll up here to all of your views. So you have all of these different views. You got your ceiling plans, you got your 3D views, you got your elevations, all that good stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down to elevations, or whatever view you want inside of your sheet here, and then you just go ahead and click and drag. So I'm going to select north, and then I'm going to drag it in here. Dang it. Okay, so that's telling me that that view already exists in my elevations. So, I thought I could do this without having to delete my other one, but maybe I can just go ahead and delete it anyway. I think that should be fine. So I'll come in here and I'll just say, we'll just delete it. Okay, so then I can also rename this to A1. now that our A1 is deleted. Okay, got it. Perfect. Okay, so now that this is A1 and it even changed right there, now what we can do is we can go back to elevations and we can go ahead and click and drag. Boom. Click and drag our elevations in. So, okay, something that's important to know is that, so I just clicked and dragged in my building here, this view that I liked. Yeah, something that's important to know is that when you double click in here, you're going to be working inside of that view. So whatever you do in here is going to change your entire project. Except for if you hide something, it'll usually only hide it just in this view, and in your other view it shouldn't change anything. But also another important thing to know is that you have your crop view and your crop region. So if you click on crop region, this box will show up here, this small one. We have this exterior one, that big thick one that you see right there, and then we have this smaller one. So if you have view region, oh, here it is. If you have crop region selected, then this little skinny box is going to show up. But if you turn it off, it'll go away. So I don't usually like to keep my crop region on, but let me show you why it is useful. So if you go ahead and click on your crop region, you can adjust what people see on your elevation. So you can change up what people are seeing in your elevation. So now you can see more of my trees. You can see, if I pull this down, you won't be able to see part of that dome. So this just helps you to be able to kind of organize how your elevation will show up on your sheet, because you don't want to include a bunch of these other things that may be floating around out here if you've got them, or maybe you don't want to show all of your foundation wall or footings or anything. So that's just something that I like to mess with when I'm moving my views into a sheet. So, but I don't like I said, I don't like to keep this crop region on. So I'll go ahead and just click that, and the crop region should disappear. There you go. But you still only see what you have told the crop region to see. So if we click on crop view, let's see what happens. There we go. So crop view, what it does is it's allowing you to still crop it without having that crop region box show up, if that makes sense. Okay, so another thing that's important to know is that you can control the scale at which your elevation shows up. So right now, if you zoom in here, we've got our north elevation, and it is 1/16 of an inch equals 1 foot. So if you wanted to make it smaller, which I did to my side elevations so that everything could fit, is so you just go ahead and select it, and then you come over here to the let's see, properties, where is it? Oh, here we go, view scale. So then it shows right here 1/16 inch equals 1 foot. So then you can pull it down and you can pick whatever size you want. I recommend staying with 1/4, you know, is the best one to stick with, but obviously some things can get too big, so you can change it to like 1/8, so 1/4, 1/8, mine's at 1/16 right now because it's very big, but let's try to make it even smaller. So we'll try to do 1/32 equals a foot, and let me see what happens. So that becomes super small, but this is good for fitting, like I mentioned, fitting all of your elevations on one sheet. So I would do, just like we had it before, this is my back elevation, so I would do my front elevation 1/16, and then I do my, so front and back as 1/16 of an inch, and then I do my two side ones this size, so 1/32, or yeah, 30-second a minute. And just put those two on the sides right there. It just makes it all look a bit better. Um, the front and back, I would say, are probably the most important um, to for people to see in the elevation view. So that's why it's better to have those be a little bit bigger. Something that's also kind of frustrating that most people have to deal with is this you know what? I am embarrassed because I can't remember exactly what this is called, but it is like I think it's like a name tag or something. It tells you the view that's showing up and it tells you the scale, and it gives you this little line. So it's frustrating because if you click on the line itself, you can't adjust the length of the line. You can adjust what's written on it, but you can't change I guess the length of it. So what you have to do is you just click on this box instead, and then it'll give you these little grabby tools here, and then you can shorten it and make it the size that you want. And I also recommend, I don't like including the elevation heights in my elevations just because it kind of makes it a bit messy. So if you go ahead and click on this, then you can just hide those. Let me just do that real fast. There we go. So that just looks a bit more clean. Yeah. So then what I'll go ahead and do is I'd pull in my other views. Let me just show you one more time how to do that. So we'll go back over to elevations, and then so the south is my front, so I'll go ahead and pull that one in. If it lets me. Oh, I have to exit out of that, and then we can pull that in. Perfect. So I think the reason why they're showing up so perfectly is because I've already adjusted them in my past sheet that I showed you guys. But usually what will happen is you'll pull them in and they'll be ginormous, and they won't be cropped to how you'd like them to be, and their little name or title tag will be stretched out super far. So you'll have to go ahead and follow those steps that I showed you to take off what you don't want to be seen in your sheet. So you can go ahead and use your crop region, your crop view. You can change the scale like I showed you up here, different things like that. But hopefully that helped you guys out in creating your sheets. Right now we are working on putting together a final project. That's why I felt it was appropriate to make a video about creating sheets. It's simple, but good to know, a good reminder. So good luck with your projects, and hopefully this helped you out.